Happy Mo Monday, everyone. Welcome to the Queen Amina Show. It's a beautiful day. We have a beautiful week ahead of us. And I pray and hope that you are staying positive and just keeping life going. I said something yesterday and I'm going to say it again. When life throws you tequila, you throw back lemon and suck it all up and keep going. Today, we're going to be motivated on how to continue in partnership with the village that you create for yourself and who are the members of that village in raising resilient children in the 21st century with Dr. Marlyn Morris. So we're going to see behind the scene if she is available and ready. She's been waiting there and she's going to come talk to us for a few minutes today. We're not going to be doing a full show. So stay tuned and make sure you grab whatever you can grab while she is training valuable information. Don't be left out. Please go ahead, share the broadcast, invite your families and friends. This is going to help raise one child, even if we do just one child, resiliently, and prepare that child to become the next future leader in our generation and their generations and the generation to come. So let me keep quiet and bring up Dr. Marlyn. Hello, Dr. Marlyn.
Thank you for joining us today. We pray that it's going to be an impactful session and that you're going to have a lot of takeaways they are going to make sure for you that you're raising these children resiliently. And as you partner with others in your community, the church community, the school community, you must all be at one. When you know what you want for your child, you should engage others to help you to raise that child, because that child or youth, as he may become, will not be living in your home forever, where you can offer the shelter that they need. So you have to be able to ensure that they can go out there and impact the world positively and be strong and being able to cope and live successfully. Okay, so that's what we are all about today. And you will recall in the last couple of Mondays that we focus on parents, and when we began to focus on educators like our teachers and so on in this whole strategic partnership. Today is a continuation of that, and we're going to look at some of those important strategies to do so, right? And focus again mainly on the teacher education. And I'm proposing right now in the 21st century that we need to look at teacher education, a new focus for that teacher professional development and training that is going to cause that teacher to look beyond just the subject discipline, but to ensure that they can be role model and coaches, right? To be able to step in where parents are weak in terms of knowledge, okay? So that they can, engage parents and together with the teacher skills and knowledge in the new education and re-engineering of that education programming of teachers training, that they will be well equipped with the knowledge and skills that they will need to change the classrooms of the 21st century. And not only the classroom, because by now, we are also going online with education. Blended education is what we are seeing in this 21st century. Okay. So it is very, very important that we look at our teachers and see how we can equip them so that they can, in this partnership approach, help parents too, who do not have the wherewithal to go into a teacher education college to learn these skills. Okay, so we need to equip our teachers so that they can partner with parents, engage parents in raising these children and youth for this century. Okay, so before I go on to that, I want to ensure that I indicate to you as parents and teachers as well what research is showing in terms of this 21st century. What skills are we to pass on to our children and youth? so that they may be ready and equipped for academic success, that they may be ready and equipped for career success, be ready and equipped for life. Okay, living life and living an abundant, harmonious, and peaceful life as that, right? We are all part of the human family, right? And you keep hearing me talk about human dignity and self worth, foundational element that we all need to know. And everything that we will see comes from that basic understanding of that inalienable right, the right of self to be a human. Nobody can take that away from you at all. And don't allow people to disempower you, to make you feel less than perfect or less than human, right? Nobody has that right to take it from you or your children for that matter. If anything, we live in a multicultural, diverse environment, and everybody needs to observe that foundational principle. We are all part of that human chain, that family, and human dignity should be respected for all. Okay? So, where do we go from here? What are the researchers saying regarding the skills? First of all, there are some self-awareness and consciousness building skills that we need to begin from very early in our children. And these are skills for self-regulation and self-control. And last year we went through this, and we last week, we went through this and we identified quite a few of these. The 10 C's were some of those. Today we are looking deeper. And one of the first set is self-regulation and self-awareness building. And you did remember I said a couple of weeks back that the child need to know and help. You need to help your child discover who he is. That's very critical. And school also need to know who this child is. The teacher who's standing in front of the class need to have a good understanding of every child that comes in front of him or her. Okay, so it's very important. So these skills are the whole self-regulation and consciousness building, awareness building, and self-regulation and self-control. Our children need to know that. I did touch about it last time with little Johnny throwing a temper tantrum. How do you help him to control himself and understand who he is, right? They also need to learn self-respect and self-love. It's very critical. A child need to be taught self-love. Who am I? I am little Johnny. Ask the question, have the dialogue. And who are you? Do you like Johnny? Yes, mommy. No. Why do you not like Johnny? Oh, you don't like yourself? I know you do. Just like mommy loves you. Look at me. You hug your child and you reinforce that love. Okay, mommy showing you love, and mommy loves her. Say, I love me. You have to play the games, little games, role playing, where you transfer what you need a child to learn to him by demonstrating that love of self, and you teach him love of self. Mommy loves you, huggy, huggy, and it has to be a constant practice. You cannot come and show the child love today, hug him today, kiss him today, and forget about him again. It is needing of reinforcement. Okay? So it has to be a constant practice, that show of love, and allow him to demonstrate it to you. Oh, come and kiss mommy. Huggy, huggy poo. I used to say, huggy, huggy poo, that sort of thing. And just like they play with their dolls and they hug their dolls and they hug their cat, they are transferring love to their pets. So you ask yourself as a parent, if Johnny is transferring love to Tabby, the cat, his cat, why is he not showing me that? Very serious question that. He needs to show his love, but he needs to show it to you too. But are you demonstrating your love to him so that he sees it? It's not what you say, I love you, you must also hug him. So he builds the right social and emotional learning, right? For self-love, self-regulation, building his self-confidence, etc. All right. The next critical area of skills has to do with the competencies, the critical thinking skills. He has to learn how to think critically. All right. And what does that look like? Children are curious, and from young, you see that they are curious and they ask you questions, right? Mommy, why is this? Well, what do you think? If you don't know, you throw the question back. Honey, what do you think it is? Mommy, I don't know. Okay, let's think about it. All right. So you give that child that room to begin to look deep in his mind. What is it? You encourage him to think critically, ask a question of you, but then you role play again with him. And that's just one strategy. Okay, Johnny, let's think about it. Let's see what it is. What do you think it is? All right. And then he said, Mommy, I think so and so. Then you can say, Oh, that's a good idea. I think such and such and such. So we are both thinking about this. Yes, Mommy. And it could be a problem that he's facing. And he's asking, How can I solve this problem?
Mhm.
Mommy, I need to know why. Why? Okay, Johnny, let's look at it. And I did say some time ago, if you don't know the answer, you said, Johnny, we're going to find the answer together. Let's see, right? What you're doing is not only encouraging him to think and ask the critical question, you're building his curiosity, right? For problem solving later on, and innovativeness and creative thinking as well, right? He's not going to just sit there and learn by rote because mommy say that, teacher say that. Okay, I have to remember one and one will be two, and that's why one and one is two. You could put one and one together and it looks like 11.
Mhm.
But the point I am making is that you should encourage this questioning, curiosity, inquiring mind, and that is how they develop one of the most important lessons of skills for the 21st century, critical thinking. Many times they go to university, our children go to university, and they're not critical thinkers. They regurgitate content from their lecturers to pass an exam, but it doesn't lead to the emotional intelligence that they will need to navigate in this world. Because when they go to the world of work, it's not about whether they get A or honors degree. It's about the ability to think critically and inform those people who are offering your job that you're not just sitting there and earning income, but you're thinking as well. How can we make things better? And we need to do that to make sure our children know that this is a world where they have to learn to think, and it can start very early. So that leads us to problem solving, right? Little Johnny comes and say, Mommy, I can't do this. Mommy, this is bothering me. What is happening? How? And you take whatever it is. It could be they're playing with a Lego, and you take it and you do it for them. Okay, let me see, Johnny. And you take it and you fix it for him. What do you think you're doing to that child? You're shutting up his curiosity to be a problem solver. And he needs to be a problem solver. All right. So you go one on one with him and you say, okay, let's see what is happening here, Johnny. Oh, you're trying to build this? Okay, tell me. Why is it giving you a problem? Oh, mommy, because this is not going into this. This part of it is not going. It's giving me trouble. All right, let us see how we can solve it. All right. All right, let us see. Let us look at it together.
Mhm.
All right. Let's show me what you're doing. Right. Oh, I did this. I put this there, but it's not turning. Why do you think it's not turning? Think about it. Look at it again. Exercise patience because it's not going to take a minute. You have to work with him until he gets that nut into the boat or whatever it takes, whatever he's doing. But encourage him every step of the way. And when he's doing good, you say, Oh, yes, it's coming. Oh, I can see that. Wow. I hope you get this, parents, because for us to go through all these skills, it will take a long time. Okay?
Mm.
So problem solving, one of those critical skills. Build your consciousness, your awareness to help that child to become a problem solver. Because you're not going to be there with them in the playground when
Mm.
police come at them. Okay? Or when they are in the class and they are faced with a little problem in the class or challenges, how do they navigate? How do they come out well and alive,
Mm.
successful? Okay, so you have to help them to develop this from very early in your home so that they can become bold and brave and fearless. They can look at a problem and stare the problem in the face and say, I am not afraid of you. Why don't you so and so? He could be talking to the bully, but just how he comes across to solve the problem. Hey, Arnold, I don't think this is the way you should do it, you know. Why? Well, think about it this way. Why don't you try this or that and see if it works? Right? And then that person will say, all right, you do it then. No, I think you should do it. You have it in you to do it. Yes, I can help you, but think about it. And when you think about it, tell me what you think you should do. So those little ones can become their own problem solver and teacher of problem solving as well.
Mm.
Everyone is a teacher. The teacher is a teacher, the child is a teacher. It's a two-way learning process all the way through life, practically. So, yes, believe it. All right. We tend to be parents and think we have the knowledge of everything. We
Mm.
tend to be teachers and we think we have the knowledge of everything as well. No, the teacher is a learner and the learner is also a teacher. It's a two-way process. All right. Okay, so that's the second skill. All right. The other skill that they need to learn is the creativity and innovation. And we did say that last time. So they are creating things. They have to innovate as well. How can it be different? And they come to you, Mommy, why can't we put the arm here? Or why can't we put the arm there? They're in their construction Legos and whatever. All right. Try it and see. Let us see. Okay, Johnny, look at it. What do you think it should be? What do you think it should be? How can it go? Let us look at it together. All right. And let us see how you will solve that problem. Remember problem solving. All right. Okay, mommy, I think perhaps we should put this up here. You may think that it will not work, but it can work. How do you know unless you let him try? Okay,
Mm.
Johnny, go ahead. All right. Let us see what comes out of it. How creative you are. All right. Okay, mommy, I build a house. All right. Beautiful. Hmm. Do you think you could make a different house? Yes, mommy, I can make a different house. Okay, go ahead, try. Let me see. All this time he's problem solving and he's thinking critically, right? And he's also creative because next time he'll not build a house that looks like a shed, but maybe he will be building a high rise tower block with his Legos, right? And he will put on things on it to see how it can be different from what he did before. Okay, right? So the next one is the next actual skills that we should be looking at to teach them is what I call cultural and civic literacy. Yes, they're in your home as parents and they're going to go to school too. So in your home, always remember that you have to train your children because they live in a culturally diverse world. And it has to go from foundation because they're going to leave your home and go to school and see people of diverse cultural heritage and even religious heritage as well. But they have to share the same space, as I said some time ago. And therefore, you as parents, for conscious raising consciousness, you're conscious enough to raise those conscious awareness within your children. You have to start very early. He's not too young. She's not too young for you to raise the issue. Oh, mommy, I don't like this boy. He's too tall and lanky. Mommy, I don't like that girl. She's too black. I have heard recently those statements coming from children when we investigate. All right. Or, I don't like her. Why do you not like her? I don't like her. Her eyes too blue. Blue eyes? Okay. What color is your eyes? Oh, mommy, mine is black.
Hmm.
Oh, there are many colors. Colors are beautiful. Do you think colors are beautiful? Yes, mommy. Tell me some of the beautiful colors that you love. Oh, mommy, I love red. Or I love yellow. I love black. I love blue. This is how you begin to teach the colors and acceptance of colors and understand that. Look at the rainbow. I used to say it. Look at the rainbow. Do you love the rainbow? Oh, yes, mommy. Why? Oh, all those beautiful colors. I said, oh, wow. Do you see how those colors come together for this rainbow? Do you love the rainbow? Yes, mommy. I love the rainbow. Why? It is so beautiful there. Do you see what is happening? They are relating the beauty of color to the rainbow. And when you begin to show color that together, colors are beautiful. It doesn't matter whether it's black, red, yellow, pink, or white. All right. You are begin that consciousness raising in your children to see though they're different, together they're beautiful, like the rainbow. Okay. All right. And some of these are very simple and they involve role playing. You don't have to have great education to do this. You must know that you are raising a child that is living in a multicultural and diverse environment, and you have to be able to prepare him, get him ready, but not get him ready with prejudices and biases, but get him ready to accept differences just because you occupy the same space and you're all human being together.
Hmm.
And sometimes I used to tell my children, do you know when it comes to color, when you cut yourself or when you get a cut, what comes out? Blood. What color is the blood? Red. Mommy? Oh, yes, it's red. All right. Do you think when Johnny gets cut and he's an Indian or is your little white friend down the road, do you think the blood that comes out of him is red? Yes, mommy. That is a common thing, honey. We all have red blood.
Hmm.
Isn't that interesting? These simple little things resonate with our children and they begin the foundation of learning for cultural acceptance and relevance. And that does not mean that you're going to give up on your own cultural heritage. Not at all. You're building in that child tolerance skills. All right. And that's all part of the whole idea of cultural and civic literacy, understanding that there's unity in diversity and we share a common space called this world, and we share a common city called Toronto, or we share a common city called, Kingston, Jamaica, whatever it is. Okay. We are living in a diverse world, and they have to see that. And it's not the differences, it is how we work together for the good of all in that shared space. Okay. So the civic literacy is respecting each other, respecting the space that people occupy, having good mannerisms, right? For building interrelationships that are of respecting one another. Okay, very, very important to remember this. And then there's the whole communication skills for building interrelationships. How do we navigate with our peers, our friends, and so on? How do we navigate with them? How do we accommodate them? How do we speak with them? Do we love them? Is it a loving interrelationships that's going on? And it does not matter your culture. Okay. So these are very important. And then there is one very critical, and it is what all of us as parents need to make sure that we nurture our children or raise them for this. And it is all about what I call financial literacy, right? Financial literacy and money management. We have to begin this very early, and that's a very critical skill right now. right? Where the world of work is not guaranteed. And it's not guaranteed that we'll go out there and get a job with somebody, but we may have to find our own sources in life to be entrepreneurial, right? And you teach them how to save, right? And they're not too young anyway. Some of them are not too young for you to partnership and have a bank account for them as well. Establish that where they're encouraged when they get some funds. Auntie gave them $10 or auntie gave them $5 or whatever. They put some away. Mommy, I need to save this. Why do you want to save it? Oh, I'm going to buy a bat later on. Everything that they need, you must encourage them to save towards it. That's a good training ground. When I was growing up, we heard of the piggy banks, those little pigs, and you put a penny in it and $1 in it, and so on and so forth. And then mommy would say, oh, you're saving it for Christmas to buy your toys, whatever you like. Yes, you're beginning to build that literacy, right? And by the way, that is the foundation for creating wealth and leaving that legacy of value. You're developing in the child the mindset to be able to grow wealth and understand that you can do that when you begin to save towards it and do things to build on it. How wonderful it is when you see that child, okay? And at the end of the day, when you see that child, you know definitely that that child is moving towards a particular purpose. He's saving his money for something because you're encouraging him to do that, right? And also, when it comes to financial literacy and money management, the added part of this is what we call investment planning for youth as well. They need to know. I have done research where young people tell us, oh, they want to teach us accounting and all those things. They never teach. My son actually said that. Mommy, they never taught us investment at school, how to invest money. But you see them talking about going to business class and accounting class. But we need to know how to invest because we can develop different skills in that. And my son is a medical doctor, okay? And he is also interested in other areas of how to invest to live sustainable lives and abundant living, right? Sometimes it can't be one source of income. They need to know that they need to think out of the box and develop the skills that they were given in coming into this life. Okay? And they need to be able to manage their money. It is a critical skill right now in this 21st century, where the world of work, as we know, it is not guaranteed to anyone that you will graduate from university, for example, and immediately find a job to suit you. No, 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 no. Especially now at this time when artificial intelligence, automation is taking over the workplace, is being introduced in the workplace gradually. Okay? So that's very important to consider as well. And the other one is adaptability. Help your child to adapt himself in a positive way to circumstances as they change. And COVID is a good example. How do you teach your children that are grieving loss, they're mourning loss, they're grieving because they can't do what they used to do, and they're locked up at home and they have to find new attitudes and new strategies and new activities to engage them. They're not out in the open anymore. These are good training grounds, actually, to help the child now to become adaptable. How do you adapt so that you can live well? You can cope. Oh, adaptation skills. How do we change it? Okay, Johnny, you may not be able to do this at this time, but why not try this? Let us look at this. All right, until such time that you're able to go back into the outdoor environment, you may be able to turn your home into a center where he can do things that he used to do on the outside, you know? So please, we need to look at those things to be adaptable. And he's going to get into that greater than before. When he begins to grow into the world of work, he has to adapt to changes in technology and what is happening and so on, and still remain successful. Okay, he may be in a workplace where they are changing the technology right there, and even though he's not inclined technologically, he has to learn it because it means his survival, actually, how he survives. Okay, and finally, on that particular topic is the collaboration and cooperation that you need to teach them how to collaborate with their peers, how to, understand why it is important to collaborate, because everyone has different skills, different competencies, and we need to learn from each other. How can we together make sure that Johnny's skill matches, aligns with Roshan's skills? And together they can help each other to solve a particular problem. Let's do this. Let's try it this way. This is how we need to make sure that we teach them that kind of skills. And you can practice right there in the home to collaborate with mommy, to collaborate with Jennifer, right? Why? Yes, because together you can do greater things than if you are left alone by yourself. I'm cooking in the kitchen, right? Mommy, can I help you to knead the dough? Yes, honey. Even though sometimes the dough will spill all over the floor, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is that she's partnering with her mommy, learning from her mommy, that she can help her mommy and collaborate with her mommy to get that cookie out. All right, to be able to bake that cookie, and how wonderful it is. Oh, daddy, I helped mommy to bake that cookie. Do you see the thrill on her? She collaborated, not just help, to work together to produce something. That's what it is all about. And that's the significance of why we're doing this. Okay? And when it goes to school, that's another thing, because when you train them to collaborate, when they get into the school space and the teacher says, okay, get into groups, I'm putting you into groups to work together on this science project, or I'm putting you into groups to work together on this research assignment. We'll both go to the library, get the idea, the information, and you work together. Who will write it up? Who will, put it together, package it, whatever they need to do. It is the beginning of collaborative partnership in the world when they become world leaders or they become teachers or whatever, because the world should be focused on collaboration and not individuality. We are a human race of diversity, right? But the important thing is that we can work together to change circumstances where we all share a common heritage and a common goal and a common aim to occupy this space we call Earth peacefully and harmoniously, working together despite our differences in how we look or our cultural differences. Wouldn't it be a great and wonderful world to think that all of us could live in peace without rumors of wars and all that kind of thing? And yes, some of us will say, oh, that's utopia. Okay, but we must try to get to that point. That's the importance of it. I will take a little break now, my queen, and then come back in a minute to look at the new focus on teacher education. What should it look like?
I think we should just dive right into it so that we can just go ahead and take all the notes.
Mm.
Thank you guys for watching. Please share the broadcast and just, help others to benefit from this valuable information. Even if you don't have children, somebody around you has children. So it is important. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Morris. I will let you continue.
Okay, thank you, my queen. And, I'm hoping that everyone listening to this broadcast, will take notes as well. And you're free to get in touch with me. I train parents as well in strategies of raising resilient children. I train teachers, some teachers as well, of what it looks like in a new education system in the 21st century, where that education needs to be re-engineered. Teachers' education, and teachers are being trained wonderfully, but we have to get that education to become relevant to living in this world right now, in the 21st century world, where different skills are we are called into being, where research is talking about where we need to go. And, I'm sorry for teachers because a lot of things are asked of them, and sometimes they need further in-depth knowledge to be able to manage successfully. All right. So I am saying, as an educator, I'm an educator and a curriculum developer as well. So for me, in terms of education, I think we need to look into the education policy, the training policy. What is it that we could do to further enhance the teacher's knowledge, right? In terms of her going back into the classroom and being able to be managing well and understanding these skills and impart some of these skills to the children that they're teaching. It's not only about learning algebra or learning, chemistry. It's also about learning to live in the space and what it will take, right, to be able to do that. And right there in her classroom, she is able, once she develops the competencies, to know, because she is a coach, by the way, she is a mentor, she is also a mother for motherless children who are in the classroom, don't have a mother or a father. And yes, we ask a lot of our teachers, and yes, I always say pay them well too. All right, because they're doing a lot, right? They are impacting humanity for the future. The children that sit before them, right? They become lawyers, doctors, engineers, everything, and the teacher is there. But in this new dispensation, the teacher is also also have to be a coach, a role model, a trainer, everything, right? In one person. Can that person cope? Yes, they can. You can cope when you are prepared to do it. And that preparation comes in the teacher education thrust, whatever they're learning in teachers college and things like that. At this point in time, teachers have to learn. There are a few things that are coming center stage right now: contemplative education, mindfulness in education, right? These are some of the new things where teachers have to understand how to become mindful. That means thinking in the moment and focus, forgetting their stress. Leave the stress that they had at home behind and focus in this classroom. They cannot come into the classroom with the stress they have at home. They have to now learn, how can I manage myself in this moment and to remain in this moment and not get distracted to the extent that, okay, my husband didn't treat me well today, right? And and reflect, oh my, and then in the middle of the class she remembers that, and Johnny turns around and says, Johnny, what are you doing? Is that called for? Where is that coming from? Is it coming from a place of stress? So she needs to learn stress management and mindfulness, being in the moment and being there for your student. Do not allow your own problems to distract you in the classroom space, because you're going to react rather than respond nicely to a child who may be innocent and doing something that they shouldn't be doing, but they didn't know. But how you reacted will send that child, oh my word, right? And you have to be trained as well to transfer this mindfulness to your children in your class. They need to know how to listen. Listening is a very important skill right now. It's not about hearing what the child is saying. You have to listen carefully to what that child is saying. You can hear, but not listen, right? You have to go beyond just hearing it, but listening to every word that is said, and it requires a teacher to be focused. Because Johnny will be telling you something about what he's going through, in how he answers and how he shies away, or what he does to not say anything at all. So you have to now live in that moment and see each child in that moment. You can't be distracted by your own problems. Mindfulness in education is very important. And you should be trained in that, know how to breathe, to relax the mind for learning, for example. Your children come in the classroom, you don't know what they went through when they left home. What happened at home, and they're in your classroom, in your face, and they are fidgety and all that. How do you help them to quiet the mind and get ready for learning? Right? What are the words you see? What are the things you do? You know, when I used to go to school, they used to tell me, my teacher, hands up, stand up, hands up, stretch out your hand, you know, march on the floor like a soldier, you know, clap your hands, you know, and you do it. But you know what it did? It helped you to come focus into the classroom and look at your teacher, right? It was exciting because she had play in it. You're clapping and you're drumming, right? And then she said, take a deep breath. Yes, you did. And in those days, we didn't know why our teachers were doing it. We didn't even know, probably our teachers didn't even know either. But it was to get our attention. But now we have more knowledge and community of practice available to us that we should be able to do better than the generation past. All right. So that is very critical to understand that our teacher, part of teacher education to be the mindful teacher, how to manage your classroom with mindfulness in mind, how to engage your student to become focused, right? So that they can forget their own trials and trauma as well and stay focused in the classroom so that you can impart the knowledge to them, that they can gather that knowledge. But quite apart from that as well, your mindfulness to lead you to understand that this child is experiencing a particular issue and is not getting over it. So you have to step in to identify, how can I, you know, find what is really happening to this child, because that child might not be able to talk to his parents, but he may be able to talk to you as a teacher, where you can say, Johnny, you do not look well today, what is happening? And you have to say that with love and compassion to show that you truly care. That's a mindful teacher, being in the moment. Okay, so it's very important that you do that. And these are strategies in education for good classroom management. And that teacher will not, having learned these strategies, will not go into the classroom and throw up her hands and say, oh my word, I can't manage these children. No, you are trained from Teachers College how to do these things. And if you're not yet doing that, you ought to begin to do that. Okay. And the whole issue of emotional learning is very important, right? We are talking about this, the refocusing of education. And I'll dare say for three very important reasons, right? We need to understand as teachers that we are living in a new world, a world of internet technology, you know, how we do things more effectively, efficiently using the technologies and all that sort of thing, right? We need to train the teachers as well, right? How to manage the classroom for effective learning outcome and social and emotional learning outcome, right? That will fit that child, prepare that child for the world out there. And it has to be that the teacher can do it because they are exposed to the education system where it can be incorporated, and then they practice it, partner with parents to be able to ensure that these strategies are passed on to parents. So when they come to parent teachers meeting, for example, do we just talk about disciplining of our children? Why can't we at parent teachers meeting regular go through with parents some of those new strategies in educating for resiliency in our children? All right. And in that way, you will be able to partner well with the teachers, and the teachers partner with you, where the child see that teachers and parents are partners together to help me thrive, to help me prosper. Do you know, mommy and daddy, they love my teacher, Henrietta. Why? Oh, well, they always go and talk to teacher Henrietta. And teacher Henrietta is always asking, how is mommy and daddy? How is your mommy? Or how is your daddy? How are they today? A simple question like that. Johnny comes into the classroom. How are you today, Johnny? With a smile. Every child, greet them with a smile. And by the way, I must let you know that the smile is one of the amazing power principles of living an amazing life. You never know that smile, what it disengages, how it can help somebody who is going through stress and trauma, just to see you smile and ask a loving question. Are you okay today? Are you having a great day? With a smile. Even to other people, right? They will see that, oh my word, this person is asking me this. They have to smile back. They should smile back. But then that greeting alone should be able to cause that person feeling stressed out to say, somebody really cares. Okay, smile back. And then that's an opportunity as well to engage. I am okay, Miss Jane. Really? I'm happy to hear it. But I'm always here for you, right? You can talk to me anytime with a smile. Okay? I'll pause there for a moment.
Thank you so much, Dr. Morris. To book your training, you can contact Dr. Marlyn Morris. The website is Ontario College. The name is of the school, Ontario College for Development Training. You can either email her at
Yes.
info, and I posted everything on the chat here. The email address is info@ontariocollegetraining.org, and her phone number is rolling there, 647-869-1000. You can
9,000.
9,000. Okay, so
Yes.
I need to correct that. So everything is right there on the page. You can go back to it, book your training. I personally took a training for becoming a coach, and trust me, the trainings are super eye-opening. They're beneficial for you before the other person you're going to train. That was my experience. And it's really helped me through a lot of my personal growth in life. And now I can relate it and send it back to somebody else. You have to be benefiting from what you're learning yourself before you're able to teach somebody else.
Yes.
If not, it would just be head knowledge you're transferring to somebody else, and they're never effective. But if you're transferring experience, personal development experience from within you to another person, they're super effective. And that's the strategies that Dr. Marlyn Morris used. She reaches within, inside of you to prepare you before you are able to start, relating that to another person. So I would highly, highly encourage you guys out there to please try, just go on the website and choose a topic and just learn. And you would
Yes.
see that your world will begin to open up into a lot of other things. Right now, I'm going to be registering my young daughter that just started her business to go and take a business development strategic thinking for developing and building up her business with the Ontario College for Development Training. So
I,
that's
I,
how cool it is.
Yeah. I also want to direct listeners to Inspiring Life Solution. It is my website for transformation coaching. And I do that with different niche areas, certified transformation. I train the trainers to become coaches in different niche markets, as well as do one-on-one coaching for youth, women in development, right? That's on one of my major platforms as well, right? Management and leadership development. And that website is connected as well to Ontario College website, and it's drmarlynmorris.com. That's all it is. And it's all about transformation coaching, strategy training for parenting, you name it. You'll see a plethora of areas there that our coaches and myself will expose you to. Okay, and I'm always willing. My number, you can call it anytime. I am always willing to help you, so to navigate as well. All right.
Mhm.
And thank you most kindly for listening today. Next week we are going to finalize the new focus on teacher education, because there's much more to do, and then we'll come final how now to bring the teachers and parents together. All right.
Awesome. So that number again is 647 286
647, let me tell him,
Yes,
647 869 9400. And it's also a WhatsApp number. you
There's
can get
another
me.
number also.
Yes. This is the 6416-289-1000.
Awesome. Yes. The
Yeah.
1001 is the
Yeah.
one.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
So
And thank you so much, my queen, for helping me to present this and for sharing this platform with me. And I want to tell listeners that we're moving forward. Come mid-September, we are having also a new platform as well. Queen will be part of that sometimes, given her accountabilities. It's called Ask Dr. Marlyn. Okay?
yeah,
Ask me any question and you will have answers to it.
coming up, and I'm excited about that too.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Dr. Morris, for your time.
You're
And
welcome, my queen.
we
Thank you.
always love you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Love you too.
All right. Bye. Okay. So that's our show for today. And I thank Dr. Morris for always making herself available to being on the show and helping us learning great things. And we will not be airing this week until Friday. We're going to be live on Friday with a super, super interesting topic: how to protect yourself from cyberbullying and fraudulent acts on the internet. So we're bringing a forensic expert to guide and help us through that so you can stay protected. There's so much stuff going on today on the internet. How do we protect ourselves from becoming a victim? So stay tuned Friday and our Church Without Borders. No, that would be on Sunday, 30th of August. Yes. All right. And then we'll unfold what is going to be happening. So look out for Ask Dr. Morris coming up in September sometime. We're going to announce exactly what time. This Saturday, don't miss out the Unveiled Women Conference. We're going to be building up young women at this conference with super intelligent topics that will help you launch you into what you are destined to do in life. So make sure you're registered at Eventbrite. The link is unveiledwomens.eventbrite.ca. Go there and register so you'll get a link to be part of the conference. And also, October 4th, 2020, we will be celebrating the unsung heroes of the COVID-19 pandemic season for 2020. So stay tuned for more information on that. Flyers are going to start coming out. Make sure you nominate your heroes, especially the essential workers that have gone over and above their call of duties during this pandemic to keep us all safe and sane. Make sure you go on our website at www.vigorawards.org and nominate your heroes to allow us celebrate them. If you want to partner with us in sponsoring any of the trophies for any of the categories, please contact me at queenaminashow@gmail.com. The easiest is queenaminashow@gmail.com. So that way you can be one of the sponsors for any of the category, or if you just want to donate to the cause of what we're doing, or you want to just support what we're doing, please contact me. Again, you can chat me on WhatsApp. My number is rolling at the bottom. Until Sunday, the 30th of August, I'm okay, guys. See you all soon. Keep loving, keep watching the Queen Amina Show, and keep on smiling.